From my preliminary stages until my evaluation, new media technologies played a huge part in the planning, research, and construction of my products. The ability to purchase affordable equipment means we can all become prosumers if we wanted. Before I even picked the genre to work in, I used new media technologies such as Prezi, which is a free presentation service that is based in the cloud. I used Prezi to get my initial ideas down, as well as use pictures and videos to support my text. Once I had picked the supernatural genre, I used the internet and search engine Google to help me find and support possible ideas. This includes watching existing trailers on YouTube to get inspiration for my planning stages. New media technologies allow me to develop my work in a collaborative, audience-reflective way. This allowed me to get audience feedback and research even in these early stages. These include focus groups of some of my peers and questionnaires that I created using Adobe Photoshop. Within my focus group, I used a built-in camera on the Mac to record both picture and sound. In my planning stages, I use a variety of programs such as Photoshop and Illustrator, which I have both access to at home and at college. I mainly use Photoshop to create basic as well as complex designs, varying from my flat plans to creating unique text fonts with special effects. The thing I like most about Photoshop is the ability to use guides and rulers so that my work can look professional. I was also able to turn my flat plans for my ancillary text into a printable paper so I can use it for my production stages later on. There are several forms of new media technologies when planning my construction process. I used a variety of social media services such as Facebook and Twitter. I used Facebook to contact possible actors to feature my trailer. I asked friends and families at early stages to avoid last-minute panics. This was great because I could contact them at any time from any location as long as I had access to internet and the Facebook Messenger app. I use Twitter to share my thoughts and ideas with my friends using a hashtag, in which they can also contribute by tweeting it. When creating my production schedule, I found that using Microsoft Word was the best option because it has a built-in grid system, so it is easy for me to lay out my plans. I use my hand-drawn storyboards as reference, as well as using my schedule sheet. I organize my shooting plan with each column representing a location and estimated date that my actors would be free. For example, my actors, equipment needed, which shots I'll film, and which shots I'll film first and from which angle. To shoot my scenes for my trailer, I used a video recording Canon 50D DSLR. I made sure to record the scenes at 24 frames per second and in 720p HD. I also set my format to .mov. Recording at 24 frames is conventional for film trailers and it looks good when it's in HD. I used the .mov format so that it's compatible with both Mac and Windows. I also used a DSLR to take high resolution pictures for my ancillary text. For my audio, I used a microphone to give me the best affordable sound. I got a pair of earphones that came with a built-in mic. When filming, I hid the black microphone under my actor's clothes so it won't be visible to the audience. I use this for all diegetic sounds such as voiceovers and Foleys. I also recorded the sound with a DSLR so that I could match the sound waves in post-production. In the last stages of my trailer, I had to return the camera to my college so that other students could use it. At the same time, I had to refilm one of my scenes because there was too much picture noise in one of my clips. To resolve this, I used my Samsung S5 to record in 720p, which is the same as the DSLR. I wasn't concerned about the aperture lens because I was going to letterbox all my footage in post-production. I backed up all my footage onto my computer's hard drive so I won't lose any work. During the whole project, I used Adobe Photoshop the most. I used it in my research, planning, construction, and evaluation stages. I use it to create my ancillary text. To edit my raw images for my ancillary text, I use color correction option as well as the curves to get me the right light balance so it fits in with the conventional mise-en-scène. I use Adobe Premiere and After Effects to edit my footage. I created all my text layers in Photoshop and exported it to After Effects, where I added a glitch template that I downloaded from YouTube. I then used the displacement map effect, which allowed the glitch template to act as a mask while overlaying the displacement map, so it would be able to move around. I used keyframes to line up each displacement. Some scenes were far too long, so I had to use the razor blade to cut them down. For my sound, I used a microphone from the earphone set I had earlier and recorded diegetic sounds through my phone using a voice recorder app. I then took it into Premiere and edited the voice to a hearable volume. The only sound editing I used was for the Skype call. I took my actor's voice and used an EQ effect on it. This allowed me to play around with the sound waves. I took 2 out of the 3 points and dropped them down to the lowest level, while 1 to the highest. This gave me a telephone/Skype voice effect. By the time I finally reached my evaluation stage, I'd used a large variety of new media technologies and acquired skills and tools which I decided to use again. I used SoundCloud to record my voice and upload it to the blog, Prezi to present my text as well as images and videos, and lastly my own video which I filmed myself talking to the camera. Once my cross-media package was complete, I uploaded it to Facebook so that I can receive feedback from friends and family. I also did a second focus group in which I asked a few of my class peers to participate in. I asked them a few questions on my trailer, and in return they asked me for my opinion on my trailer. They asked about my trailer, magazine and poster. To create my focus group, I used a Mac to record the picture as well as the sound. My answers were done separately when I got home, so to create the setup I used a DSLR, a microphone for my earphone headset. To get further feedback, some of my class peers left some helpful comments on my video, which was put up on YouTube. YouTube allowed me to interact with fellow prosumers and actively discuss the strengths and weaknesses of my project as well as theirs. Adobe Premiere was the main editing software I used in my evaluation. However, the editing process was slightly different because my evaluation was based on pictures and clips rather than a full video. And lastly, I used my college blog to find all my work that I did earlier on in the project, such as Prezi's and my genre research. I revisited my own name to find some reference points in which I can include in my evaluation questions. In conclusion, I believe that new media technologies have proven to be crucial in all aspects on my media coursework, mostly in the project themselves. However, I did use it a lot during the organization, planning and evaluation. The tools allowed me to create high quality work that might not have been possible in the past.